So once again, the digger makes its way over to hunt for the elusive wall, while I'm off to the incident room on a little ghost-busting trail.
Yesterday, you teased me with the promise of the story of exorcism, and you still haven't told it to me.
Well, in the early 17th century, the house was owned by relatives of Francis Drake, the great Francis Drake, who'd fought the Spanish Armada. And the lady of the house, Joan Drake, suddenly woke up one night and shrieked and screamed and said that she was possessed by a devil. So her husband sends for an exorcist, and he comes to the house. And in fact, he climbs the stairs, and Joan Drake is in the dining chamber, which is on the first floor, and she sees him coming, so she races upstairs to her bedroom and bolts the door. So her husband chases after her with a great iron fork in his hand and beats on the door. Well, what happens next is that, in fact, they send for more exorcists. They're up in the chamber above Joan Drake's bedchamber, and they pray and they fast. And as far as I can tell from the documents, about 8 years later, Joan Drake is finally reconciled to Christ.
Well, it's a lovely story and a happy ending, but does it help us at all?
Well, I think it does, because in fact what it shows is that if the dining chamber, which we know has to be on the first floor because that's how things were then, so if Joan Drake's chamber, her bedchamber, was on the floor above, and these three Puritan exorcists are on the floor above that, it has to be a 4-storey lodging.
Do we know what she was doing with the devil?
Well, she said that she committed the unpardonable sin.
This is a family show, but have we any idea what that might mean?
Well, it could involve, the idea that she'd had carnal congress with the devil.
Good Lord.
Back at the tower, Phil's found more walls than he can, well, shake a brick at.
Look, there's a face of stone that runs along there. You've got a big block of stone in there, block of stone in there, and there's all the way along there that comes in there. I mean, I was wondering whether this isn't the earliest wall we got on the site. It's just complicated, very, very complicated.
While Phil struggles with too many walls and Matt struggles to find one, Jonathan's taken me to nearby Hampton Court. Just over 3 miles away, Hampton Court was built by one-time Esher resident Cardinal Wolsey, and Jonathan wants to show me just how much it owes to Wainfleet.
What's the date of this place?
January 1515 is when Wolsey's carpenters and masons turned up and the materials poured in for Hampton Court. But at that time, when it was a building site, he lived on Wainfleet's manor at Esher.
Really?
Not Wainfleet's old house, anyway.
So every morning when he came in, he'd got that image of Esher in his mind?
Absolutely he did.
You can certainly see Wainfleet's influence in these diamond patterns and in the look of the brickwork.
You can, Tony, but look carefully at them and see the way in which they don't really line up. They're all over the place. Now, Wainfleet's masons set that diaper work perfectly.
Yeah.
It's very organised on the facade. It's tightly built.
It's a kind of relief to know that even Cardinal Wolsey had problems with his build, isn't it?
It's a huge contrast to Wainfleet's crisp diamond patterns picked out in a black glaze. No cowboys on this job. But no one really knows how this effect was achieved.
Hello, my name's John Gator. Time Team is fan-funded by Patreon. This vital support helps us to make new episodes. Joining Patreon gives you access to exclusive interviews, 3D models and masterclasses, plus lots more.